This episode brought to you by Honey, the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer. Also brought to you by Chime, the award-winning app and debit card that can save you money today. See me in Chicago at C2E2, March 31st to April 2nd. Hope to see you there. Avast me mateys! Hunter S. Sparrow here, wrapping up Pirates Month. Joining me as always is my crew of sparrows. Avast me unsavvy savvies! There's still so much more plundering to...
Still?
What?
Are we still doing the Jack Sparrow thing?
Aye, it is still Pirates Month!
Yeah, like 5 weeks ago.
Which in internet time is like 5 years ago.
Come on, man, we're on like the final one.
Exactly. Nobody cared about Pirates by the time the last one came out.
Preposterous. How could you forget about the final installment, Pirates of the Caribbean?
Die Harder?
Electric Boogaloo?
Golden Receiver.
The Search for Curly's Gold?
No, I'm pretty sure there's a squeakle involved.
Just admit it, no one cared about the Pirates movies by the time the last one came out.
Okay, that may be true, but we have a code to follow.
It's more like a guideline.
Well, either way, we're following it, so get a costume!
Why?
While we wait for them, let's look over the final Pirates movie, Pirates of the Caribbean. Back in the habit, red, white, and blonde, the revenge of Kitty galore. God, I'm tired of speaking through my teeth. That's what it's called. While Stranger Tides didn't pull in the numbers they wanted, Disney thought they still might be able to squeeze out one more Pirates movie. The only problem was, it came out in 2017. The fad had died down, and audiences were finally getting Pirates fatigue. And honestly, as Pirates movies go, this isn't the worst one. I can't say it's very good, and a lot is due to similar problems from the sequels, but it does have a handful of good scenes in it. It's not forgettable like Stranger Tides, it's not a homework assignment like at World's End, but it is a lot more of the tired elements we've seen a million times in these movies. However, as those tired elements go, there are one or two moments of creative life to it. How do these scenes get bogged down by an onslaught of meh? Well, we're gonna take a closer look to find out. With the help, of course, of my visual representation of a popular fad.
Hey! Who is your favorite fearless hero?
I mean a past fad.
Yeah, but fads are meant to be passed on.
Everything now is Puss in Boots 2, baby!
Well, if you can't beat 'em harder. Wrap up Pirates Month with Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Get a good look at that, everybody, because you will constantly keep asking yourself, what are they looking for in this movie again? Yeah, well, this one's not quite as complicated as the other sequels. It's still complicated. As we open with Will Turner's son, Henry, rowing his boat into the sea. Keep an eye out for Noose's kid. These sequels are not very kind to boys your age. Or you can just kill yourself and knock out the middleman. That works. He's actually doing this to get the attention of his father, as Will Turner saves him aboard the Flying Dutchman. And you know what? I've been pretty mean to this character. Yeah, maybe I've shit on him too much for being so bland and unnecessary. Why don't I start over and give him a fair shot again?
You stay away from Jack. Leave the sea forever.
That's the voice he's using? Oh, this file just got opened back up. New comedic evidence has come to light!
You have to stop acting like
Pirates?
my curse will never be broken.
This ship is full of pufferfish, ready to believe in good.
He says he wants to find the trident of Poseidon to lift his curse, but he's told it's impossible. Cut to 9 years later, as once more this series says, we must have a Turner in this for some reason. So let's make it his offspring, Son of Bland. Played now by Brenton Thwaites.
Sir, look at your charts. I believe you're sailing us into the Devil's Triangle.
It's like a mix between the Bermuda Triangle and the Triangle of Sadness. We can't take any more heavy-handedness.
This is treason.
And this is my treat, son. Of course, Henry is right, and the ship is slaughtered by a supernatural entity known as Captain Salazar, played by Javier Bardem. Yo-ho, friendo.
The compass which he holds condemned us to this hell on earth. I want to behold the daylight again.
I'm sorry, you sound like an asthmatic Spanish ASMR drive-thru. Yeah, sadly Bardem is kind of like Machine from the last movie. I love this actor, but he doesn't add anything. Listen to his first line.
What are you?
Isn't that the most generic line said in the most generic way? I also think while the hair's still moving like it's underwater is neat, it's way too distracting. Bardem is good at either subtle expressions or over-the-top expressions. You want to see his face, and the hair just keeps getting in the way. It's like watching him in Skyfall, but his face is covered in internet ads. I guess I can look past it, but I shouldn't have to.
Now, it's time to hunt a pirate.
They put a distracting filter on his voice, too. His voice is already awesome. You don't need it. Rather than all this adding to his performance, it really feels like it takes away from it. Pretty much everything around this character is either underwhelming or at the most, fine. Them walking on water is neat. The ship and crew, I guess, are creative, but they just look and act like another ghostly pirate threat. Do they really stand out much from Barbossa or Jones's crew? Can you even tell the difference right away in this lineup? Nothing feels upped, especially 14 years after the original. Speaking of which, where's our ladies can't do that character?
I confess that I am not a witch, that I am a woman of science, with nothing but a diary from a father I never knew.
I confess I'm full of exposition. We all are, my child. This is Karina, played by Scodelario, who, like everyone else, isn't bad. She just has little to go off of. She's clearly smart and knows about astronomy, so everyone calls her a witch. But darn it, she's not a witch! And that's her whole character.
You're a witch.
Am I a witch for having catalogued over 200 stars?
Witch!
Yeah, once again defining someone by what she isn't rather than what she is. With that said, some repeats are welcomed. Like Jack Sparrow once again gets a pretty funny intro. What Depp's lawyers saw every morning when they came to get payment for the trial. It looks like he's not alone though.
Hold your fire!
That's your wife.
Change my mind, open fire!
Francis?
Jeez, I figured you had a sense of humor.
Well, I don't quite see the math and how that many horses could pull an entire building. I have to say this action sequence is pretty fun. It's cool because it looks like it's mostly done with practical effects and not CG. And I also have to admit, I'm glad they're finally putting color back in these movies. This at least doesn't pretend it's a black and white film soaked in Linda Blair puke. On that note, whenever it's not a practical effect and they use CG, it's usually not real enough or surreal enough to be impressive. How many horses are pulling that again? While that's going on, Karina sneaks into several different places to find the answer she's looking for. Well, I can see a lawsuit from her coming soon.
No woman's ever handled my Herschel.
Penis!
It is kind of cool that not only do they bring back the crew from the original trilogy, but also took a few from the last film. I thought they were funny actors, and I'm glad they're given another movie to be in. For the moment.
Right then. Never sail with Captain Jack Sparrow again. Tell you that.
Come lads, if there's anything Disney has taught us is that there's always room for more adventure whether we want them or not. Karina meets up with Henry, as it turns out they're both after the same thing.
This is the diary of Galileo Galilei. It was left to me by my father. He believed I could find what no man has ever found.
A pirate movie under 2 hours. Yeah, keep looking. She gets caught though. Oh man, if only she had a rope! And Jack roams the streets without a crew. Like I said, the non-CG slapstick's pretty good. In one of my favorite moments, Jack is desperate for booze, so he trades his compass for rum, knowing it has a curse that if he gives it away, it'll unleash his greatest fear, which surprisingly is an American box office.
We are free!
I kind of love he knows he's unleashing more torment for himself and all he has to say is,
Pirate's life.
yeah, that's pretty badass.
Who's the man we've been looking for?
Jack gets, say it with me now,
Captured!
when Henry finds him and says he needs his help.
The moon has turned to blood, the trident will be found, and you could be the one who holds the sea, and with it become all that you once were.
That is a great impression of me whenever exposition is talked about. You know it's like 90% of the dialogue in these movies, right? In kind of a weird switch up, Keith Richards doesn't return as his dad, but instead we have Paul McCartney as his uncle.
Uncle Jack! Jackie boy!
This is gonna sound blasphemous. I actually like this cameo better. It's short, intentionally pointless, just the right amount of odd, and doesn't make me laugh with the joke he tells, but rather the reaction from another guy with the joke he tells.
Kevin goes into a bar, orders a beer and a mop.
I don't care what anyone says, that laugh is the funniest thing in the movie. The next 10 minutes or so in this is actually pretty goddamn great. Jack and Karina are about to be executed, argue like children for who can get the better final words, and are kinda saved by Henry. Sanctuary! With the help of Jack's crew. The choreography and imaginative slapstick in this is so good. It actually feels like something out of the first two pirate movies. It's honestly so funny, it kinda gets me angry because it tricks me into thinking there's hope for the rest of the movie. Even the name of the ship they sail off in is hilarious. Son of a bitch, don't do this to me, movie. I know you're gonna suck the rest of the time. The only thing that could give me even more hope is... Okay, I need a minute to appreciate the few fleeting moments of this movie being good. It's gonna suck later. It's gonna suck later. Subject number 621456. How are you feeling today? Still crazy? Still crazy for how great Chime is. Tell me about it, you sick fool. Well, do your financial goals feel out of reach? Of course, I chased after my dream. Well, they don't have to be. With Chime's secured credit builder Visa credit card, you can start building credit with your own money through one-time payments and small, everyday purchases like groceries, streaming, and gas. That's insane. Members see an increase of 30 points to their credit scores on average. Chime reports your payments to the major credit bureaus to help you build credit over time. All with no annual fees, large security deposits, or credit checks to apply. You're mad. Mad, I tell you. No, I'm actually quite happy. Oh, good. I'll cross that out. And it's all because of Chime. Start making your financial dreams a reality with Chime. Who, me or the audience? Both! That's lovely. Signing up only takes 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/nostalgia. That's chime.com/nostalgia. I think this is the time you summon one of your other fast-talking personalities. Good idea.
The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by Stripe Bank, any pursuant to a license from Visa USA. Chime checking account at $200 qualifying direct deposit required to apply for the secure Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card. Based on a study conducted by Experian, Credit Builder members observed an average of 30-point FICO score rate increase after 8 months, with regular on-time payments. Results may vary. See chime.com for details. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply except at MoneyPass, ATMs in a 7-Eleven, or any all-point or Visa Plus Alliance ATM.
So are you cured? No! Good for me. Because honey is also driving me insane. Let me guess, you feel crazy when you find a good deal? No. Ah. Except yes. Great wordplay. I feel so lucky and excited whenever I find a good deal. Almost like I'm getting a treat for free. And thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. You don't say. I do say. You must be crazy. Yeah. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best ones it finds to your cart. Imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite sites. I work at a hospital. My imagination shot dead. Well, just pretend then. Same thing. When you check out, the Honey button appears and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons it can find for that site. If Honey finds a working coupon, you'll watch the prices drop. Amazing. You're amazing. I know. I found a tablet for an amazing deal. Just look at all the money I saved on that. I needed a new one to take notes on, and Honey helped me get the best offer I could find. And it was so easy to use. Yes, but are you aware, patient 62, whatever numbers I said, Honey doesn't just work on desktops. It works on your iPhone, too. Just activate it on Safari on your phone and save on the go. I didn't know that! I'd have to be crazy not to get it. Which you are. But not about this. A little about this. Agreed. I could tone this down to a 7. Or 1. 1 is nice. If you don't already have Honey, you could straight up be missing out. That's definitely an 8. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this show. You can PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/nostalgia. That's joinhoney.com/nostalgia. Okay, buddy, it's time to go back to your cell. Oh, but I really like this game where I pretend to be a doctor. I'm sorry, but there's only so long I can pretend to be a patient. Can I at least have your stabby pep? If you promise not to stab anyone with it. No. So Barbosa still has Blackbeard's ship from the last movie, but he's intercepted by Salazar.
Every time I tap my sword, one of your men will die.
Boy, you really don't know this guy, do you? Whatever you do, don't kill Frank. Thank God I hated Frank.
I be the only one that can lead you to it.
They agree to find Sparrow together as Jack tries to get the map no man can read from Karina.
If you could read it, then it wouldn't be called the map no man can read.
Give me the map.
It doesn't yet exist. I'm an astronomer.
She breeds donkeys.
There's no donkey.
Well, then how do you breed them?
Let me start again.
Stop pretending this is clever! She reveals the map is in the stars, which none of them understand, despite that being a very common method ships use to find their way. And they decide to cut them loose. Back on land, the captain of the guard, played by David Wenham, uses an actual witch, played by... She's barely in this, so I'm not gonna butcher that. As our two lovebirds reveal why they're on their quest.
It's the only link to who I am, who my father was.
So we've both spent our lives searching for our fathers.
Maybe we have the same father.
You need to stop talking.
Yeah, I need to stop talking. Meanwhile, Salazar reveals how Jack bested him when he became captain of a ship as a team. And in fact, that sometimes looks good, but other times looks like Bella Ramsey.
Ship to the air!
They find Jack's ship, and I do love how there's a permanent rain cloud over them, like the whole ship is Eeyore. And they send zombie sharks after them. Now, zombie sharks sounds like a fun idea, but again, they're shot like we're supposed to believe they're really there. Like they show them in slow motion so we can be wowed by them, and don't you just feel nothing looking at that? You could put CGI Scooby-Doo in there and I'd be the same amount of blown away. Come on, guys, let's head out before they make a tornado out of us. Now, there is a scene where Jack uses one to pull his boat. That's fun because it's not relying on looking real, it's relying on looking creative. But sometimes the movie can be a little too creative. Like, I looked down to reply to a text message, and when I looked back up, this was going on.
It's your wedding day.
Boys, let's get on with this. You may kiss the bride.
Are we just in a different Pirates movie now? What happened in those few seconds I looked away? This random character that I don't think we've ever seen lives on this island with a bunch of other randos. Jack owes him a debt like he does to everyone, and he wants him to marry his sister. All of this is explained in seconds and tossed aside just as quickly. Hell, I think I actually took more time to explain it than the movie did.
Jack, we meet again.
I've come once again to save a movie that probably can't be saved.
I've come for the trident of Poseidon.
The film just pretends the past weird-ass 2 minutes didn't happen. Yeah, it's kind of like Eternals to the MCU. And Barbossa demands the pearl back, which Jack keeps in a bottle from the last film. This is what everyone thought sea monkeys would do. Our heroes get captured again, and you know, I hope these two got paid extra for rope burn. They spend more time tied up than a 50 Shades graphic novel by William Marston.
She will follow her star, or we'll all die together.
Barbossa releases Karina, though, and orders her to guide them to their treasure. And looking back, it's not that they don't mention the Triton that much, it's more they don't focus on what it can do and why it drives them. In the first few films, we constantly see why the pirates want to lift the curse, why Will wants to save Elizabeth, why Jack wants to be free of Jones. But once again, like the majority of the sequels, we're just told about it here. Nothing is really felt. The closest scene might be this exchange between Karina and Barbossa. As he puts together, he might share a certain connection with her.
This was given to me by my father. He was clearly a man of science.
Scurvy science, as he called it.
This diary is my birthright.
Birthright? You can take a bath whenever you want. I will not start now. He confesses to Jack she may in fact be his daughter.
Shall I tell you know who, what we both know to be true?
Who knew my little bowsman could swim? You mean seaman? Yeah, I wanted to mix up the wordplay. Isn't working. Also, like you right now. Touche. Salazar catches up to them in what should be a really cool action sequence, jumping in between ships and fighting off a statue at the bow is sadly kinda lame because while the day shots are bright and colorful, the night shots are flat and murky, almost like, you guessed it, a pirate sequel. They make up for this a little bit though, as after they fight them off, they reach their destination, an island that perfectly reflects the stars.
Finish it, Karina.
For my father.
I do it for him.
Again, scenes like this do make it rough to say there's nothing to this movie. Returning the red crystal opens up the waters, revealing the Triton. Wait, I remember how this goes. Doesn't Julie Andrews voice a sea monster and someone walk through a waterfall? Actually, maybe Depp shouldn't stay around for that. You know, for someone who didn't watch the trial, I sure do make a lot of jokes about it. Salazar takes over Henry's body because I guess he can do that. But he leaves the body when he gets a hold of the Triton. What the hell did he say? You leave that homicidal figment alone. They figure out breaking the Triton breaks every curse at sea, so they do that and Salazar becomes a real boy. I guess that means the curse of the water is broken too. I don't know. And the ship tries to pull them up without somehow falling in themselves. Salazar follows them though, vowing to get revenge, so Barbossa sacrifices himself to take him down. Which makes sense. How the hell is he gonna climb with a peg leg?
Who am I to you?
Treasure! I was hoping to sell you at a fair price, but I don't think that flies anymore. Barbossa gets killed off. I know, as Karina finally puts together her connection to him. So, my father's dead because Jack wanted a bottle of rum. Forgettable. I should have gotten tequila. No! Jack sails off into the sunset and Henry meets up with his father, who has been lifted from his curse.
Henry. Yes, Father. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a franchise.
So it's a happy day for the dull pirate Roberts. Even Elizabeth appears to say, hey, Elizabeth appeared, despite being only 4 years older than her supposed son is. This does raise the question, though, if the curse is lifted, who takes people to the afterlife? Well, set course for sequel baiting as we get this end credit sequence. That's right, Davy Jones! Should stay as far away from this as Depp is right now. This isn't the worst sequel, but it's still not very good. There are a handful of moments that make it fun from time to time, but nowhere near enough to say it's worth checking out. I guess it's a better note to end on than the previous two, but that still doesn't make it a great note. A shame, because these movies started out with a lot of promise, but somewhere got lost focusing on the wrong things. Complicated plots, forced in characters or character types, pretending this was all one planned out story, when honestly I think we all would have been fine with each movie just standing on its own. However you rank these films, it is still impressive that from an idea many considered a sellout or half-baked, rose an iconic franchise that people will remember years from now. That later would become a sellout and half-baked. But what can Disney say? That's a pirate's life. And that's about it for Pirates Month. For real this time. Stay scurvy, me mates, and until next time, maybe I'll review this bad next. We're still doing cameos for charity, and this month we're doing the Kennedy Krieger Institute. Kennedy Krieger Institute is internationally recognized for improving the lives of tens of thousands of children, adolescents, and adults with neurological, rehabilitative, or developmental needs. They do this through inpatient and day hospital programs, outpatient clinics, home and community services, education, and research. It's an amazing organization, and you can help them out. If you want a cameo from me saying happy birthday, good luck, or whatever, click on the link below and be giving to a good cause. If you're like, nah man, I don't want a cameo from you, you suck, well consider checking out this organization anyway, because it really is a great place with great people. Take a look at all the various ways you can help out.